Okay, so welcome everyone. We just concluded our 3-day demo series yesterday. So during the demo series, we talked about some of the very basic aspects. Okay. So we were basically trying to figure out what a business analyst is, what kind of work they perform in the IT industry, what training program we are offering at Harsha Trainings, how the training program will help you gain that required knowledge, what is the growth perspective for a BA job, okay? What kind of certifications you can appear for. So we looked at some of those basic aspects of a business analyst. Now we also looked at what's a key difference between a business analyst and a data analyst, and also business analyst versus scrum master, and how the rise of artificial intelligence may or may not impact the work that we do as a business analyst, or how we can leverage artificial intelligence for our benefit to boost or to improve our productivity. Now, as we discussed during our demo series, we said our first week will be spent on learning about the basics of IT industry. Okay, so we don't want to directly jump onto any BA specific things, since students may come from a non-IT background as well. So we spend the first week for non-IT students so that they can adapt to how things move around IT, what are the different types of IT companies, what's the process looks like, or even for the people who are already part of IT industry, for them it will be a good refresher as well. Okay, so the topics that we are going to today will be part of this statement only. Okay, so what we are going to do is today we will be covering two topics. Okay, topic number one is what are the different type of IT companies. Okay, and the topic number two will be pre-project activities. Okay, so we will start learning about things from what an IT industry is, and then what are the pre-project activities, that is what kind of activities or work is done before our actual work starts. Okay, naturally there will be some inquisitiveness as to how we are getting the work. Is BA responsible for getting new clients? So we'll try to give answer to those some of the questions. Then moving on, in our upcoming classes, we will again be talking in detail about what are the different categorization of projects, how are teams structured, how teams work with each other, what are the different roles that work with each other in order to get the work done. Then what is SDLC, that is software development lifecycle. Within SDLC, what are these popular methods called waterfall and agile? How are they helping us implement SDLC? Because as a BA developer or QA, everyone who is part of IT industry must be aware of what is SDLC so that they understand what their work is. And then based on SDLC, what a business analyst will be doing. So with that introduction, let's get started. Okay. So our first topic for today is what are the different types of IT companies. Now IT companies are broadly categorized into product based and service based. Okay. So what is a product based company? So product based company, to give you an idea, they build a product, market the product, and then sell the license for the usage of product. Okay. So a simple case, uh, assume that you identify a problem with the current processes. Say that, with lot of activities going online nowadays, there's always a risk of hacking. Let's say hacking could be a common risk nowadays. With everyone going online, hackers are looking for ways to get inside your laptop or mobile. Now, in order to prevent hackers from entering into your system, maybe I will think that, okay, I should build a good firewall or provide a good security system for the laptop. Okay. So hacking could be considered as a problem. A good security system like a firewall, this could be considered as your solution. Okay. So what a product based company typically does is they identify a problem right around us. Okay. What could be that problem? For that problem, what type of solution is needed? Okay. Now the solution I'm talking about is software related. Okay. If it is not involving software, we are not going to touch that problem. The reason being, we are talking about IT companies. IT companies are building softwares. Okay. Problem cannot be that I'm not able to find good quality house, so I should look for a good real estate developer that can provide me decent quality flats, independent houses. No, okay. Now that will be a different problem for somebody else to solve. But IT companies are typically offering IT solutions. Okay. So we look for problems that can be solved either through the usage of IT or maybe through building up some new software. Okay. For example, look at e-commerce platforms like Flipkart, Myntra, okay, Amazon. So what they did is, again, they wanted to utilize or tap onto the marketplace of selling things online, and they did that. How they did? By building an online marketplace. So the first category of companies, that is product based companies, they look for a problem, or they look not just for a problem but maybe something that can improve the quality of our life, and then they build a solution around it. Once they are kind of satisfied that we have built the required software that can help people, then what they do is they start the marketing or advertising for it. Okay. So they will ensure that people are aware of such product. Now, if I give you a recent example, I mean an example from our recent times. So what happened is there was an artificial intelligence system called ChatGPT. Okay. So what happened is, before ChatGPT came in, what used to happen, you would be taking help of Google and then trying to do search. Okay. Suppose I want to learn about how many years it will take to become a doctor. What kind of degree is needed in order to start my practice as a doctor? So what I would typically do is I would open up Google and then I'll start searching over there. Okay. Now you will obviously, what happens with Google is you get multiple links. Okay. just to give you a, let me search for how to become a, let's say, data analyst in India. So forget about this AI overview part because this is something that Google incorporated recently as well. But what would typically happen is you will get multiple links. Okay, based on the search criteria, Google will throw up multiple links to you. Okay. Now, what will happen is you have to go through each of these links and maybe open up and then see if they are relevant to you. For example, let's say I'll open this link from medium.com. Now I'll open this link, I'll probably go through the stuff that is mentioned over here, and then I'll see if it is relevant for me or not. If I find it relevant, I'm lucky, I'll stop here. If I find it irrelevant or I feel it is irrelevant, but there could be more information on it. So what will happen is I will go and look for the next links. Okay. So like that things will move forward. Now let me copy this question. Okay. And now how has Chat GPT changed the entire idea is now I don't have to navigate through multiple links option. So I can simply type in my question and then ask Chat GPT about it. Okay. Now it will give me step-by-step guide like what kind of educational background do I need, what kind of skill sets do I require, how can I gain practical experience, what kind of courses, certifications I took, networking, job application, start applying for job and keep learning things. Okay. So now what has happened is it has condensed all the information that usually internet will provide into one stop solution. Okay, so rather than getting into different links, reading through all the links, identifying if they are relevant or not, I get all the information in one place. Sorry. Now this information that I am getting may not be accurate because artificial intelligence systems are still evolving, but at least you get the idea that I get all the information in one place. So what was the problem? The problem was that when you ask Google, it throws up multiple links and you have to navigate through all the links. In fact, if I get to the end of it, it's not just that it has one page solution. It has given me 10 different pages. So if I want, I'll have to navigate through all those 10 pages. Now, what did Chat GPT do? How did they identify a solution? They know in real time. If I ask a question, I expect an answer. I don't expect 100 sets of answers. That these are the 100 options. Pick whichever you like. Okay? So that's not how things work. If I give you a task, you ask me a question, I give you a response. So that's how recently the Chat GPT has come into picture. That's a good example of product based companies. Now what happens in service based companies is service based companies, they identify clients, okay? People who have some problem, but at the same time they have a lot of money to spend on. Okay? They have a problem, but at the same time they are making money that they can spend with an IT company. So what they do is they identify clients, they identify their problems, and then they work with the client to build a product. Okay? And then this cycle will repeat if there are any further enhancements needed. So you see here, when the product based company, when they built a system, they were responsible for not just building the system or building the solution, but also for marketing and advertising things and then selling to the customer. Okay, but here the service based companies majorly spending efforts in identifying clients and then work with those clients to build a product. And once you have built a product, obviously a product is not a final solution. It keeps on enhancing. Okay? We never say that a product is complete. Okay? It's an oxymoron kind of statement that a product is never complete. A complete product is an oxymoron. So we keep on enhancing this product, so we keep on adding new features because as times evolve, customers requirement may evolve as well. There will be regulatory compliances, there will be security related changes, something or the other will be there which will keep us on our toes and keep modifying the project or the product. So take for example a local grocery shop that is currently doing the business offline. Currently, all customers will visit the shop there and then they will ask the shopkeeper about what items are present in the shop and then accordingly buy it. The shopkeeper is making lot of money. So what they want is, rather than people coming to his or her shop, why don't we build a software that I can ask my customers to visit? On that software they will have access to the entire catalog or the inventory. Whatever inventory is present in my shop, they will get to know about it along with the price plus any discount coupons available, anything like that. Then they can place the order, they can make the payment online. Once I receive the order, I will fulfill the order by sending those products to their houses or delivering it to their places. So that way they don't have to come all the way to the shop. I can focus on delivering more orders. Okay? And like that I can increase my sales overall. Okay? So what just happened, local grocery shop, they have a problem. They are not aware of how to build a software. So they had a problem that they wanted to solve. They wanted to increase their sales. They wanted to better manage their inventory. For that problem, they are looking for a solution. That is, if someone can help me build a software for it. Okay? So they start looking for different IT companies that can provide a solution based on their requirements. Okay? So these are service-based companies that typically build a product customized to the customer's requirement. Okay. Now, please remember, guys, whenever a client requires any kind of software, okay, it does not mean they will always go to a service-based company. It could also mean that if there is a product available online, or sorry, if there is a product or a software already available and that I can pay the license for using the product, then I'll go ahead and use it. So take for example Microsoft Word. What are we guys doing? We are simply paying the license for using Microsoft Word. Are we trying to build a new Microsoft Word? No. So why we are not doing it? It will consume lot of time. Plus, if there's a product already available, why not get started right from day one? Okay. If I want, I can get started. I can start making notes using Microsoft Word right from today. If I try to build a product similar to Microsoft Word, maybe it will take me 6 odd months, and then I'll have to market it, sell it, or start using it. So clients, when they have any kind of problem, they look for solutions. Now, if it is a solution that can be offered by product-based company, they usually go with product-based company. If it is a solution that cannot be offered by a product-based company, then they go for service-based companies. Okay. For example, they want lot of customizations in an existing software. Like they want Microsoft Word, but they want lot of customization, that it should automatically convert it to PDFs, or it should give me some strong security features but they think that Microsoft Word does not have those products. Plus, when they are asking Microsoft Word for customizations, Microsoft Word, Microsoft team is not helping out with those customizations. Okay, so either the existing product does not fulfill their criteria, or the product is not flexible enough to be customized as per their needs. Okay, in such cases, client will go for service based companies, because service based companies will purely get requirements from the client and then work with them alone. Okay, now when you start your work, you could be either part of a product based company, or you could be part of either service based company. Okay, some of the examples of product based company could be, okay, organizations like Google, Microsoft, okay, Facebook. Some of the examples of service based companies could be companies like TCS, Accenture, Infosys. Okay, I've just written the names of large cap or large scale companies. There are multiple small scale companies as well that cater to specific clients. Okay, most of the time enterprises, they don't, enterprises or companies or large companies, they are so complicated that it is very difficult for an existing product to fit all their requirements. So either they go for service based companies, or they go for a combination, like to an extent use an existing product, and then on top of that product ask that service based company for customizations. So like that, clients can also go for customization. It purely depends on my budget as client. Okay, if my requirements and my budget are both in line with existing products, I'll go with product based company. If I can spend more but the existing product is not as per my requirement, then I'll go with service based companies, or I could go with combination as well, as long as it fits my budget. Even when we go out for shopping, that's what we also do. Suppose if I have a budget of uh, let's say 20,000 Indian rupees, and I want to buy a mobile phone, so I look for all the options that are available to me, and then according to my budget I'll buy something. I'll not go over budget, because probably my budget is capped at 20,000 Indian rupees. Okay. So the same logic, but at a larger scale, applies here as well. Clients will have their budget that they can spend, that they cannot breach, based on their budget, based on their requirement, what fits well. In product based companies, a BA or a business analyst will not get that much opportunity to work with clients, okay, because they are continuously working on identifying the market trends, where the market is heading towards, any regulatory or compliance related changes, and then based on that they will keep evolving their product. Okay. In service based companies, a business analyst will be more interacting with clients, because clients are driving all the changes. Okay. Now, one more important point to look here between the two companies is the ownership. Okay. So, the ownership of the product lies with the product based company. Suppose I could be using Facebook, but that does not mean I own the product called Facebook. Okay. Facebook is still the owner of it. Facebook is just giving me access to use their product. Similarly, Microsoft. If you look at this entire laptop that I'm currently using, it's based on Microsoft Windows. Okay. So Microsoft Windows is not owned by me. Again, it is owned by Microsoft only, and I just paid some licensing cost to be able to use it. even after paying the licensing cost, I'm still a user. I don't become the owner of the Windows product. Okay? It's not as if I'll be owning it. If there are any issues, it has to be fixed by Microsoft. If I identify any problem, any bugs, any defects, I'll have to report it to Microsoft. Then Microsoft only will fix it. Why? Because Microsoft owns the product called Windows. In case of service-based companies, the ownership of the product lies with the client themselves. Okay, so we are building a product for the client, so we are just helping them build the product. Once the product is built, the copyrights of the product or the ownership, okay, everything is with the client. So tomorrow client can tell me, I don't like the work being done by Accenture. Okay? Maybe I'll work with TCS. So I cannot say as Accenture employee that I wrote the code, I built the software, so I'll not give the code to anyone. Okay? Because the ownership lies with client, so client actually can take their software to wherever they want. Okay, and whomever they give money will have to work on that software. Okay, so that's why even if you are already part of IT industry, you'll keep hearing clients switching from one company to another company if they are not happy with how things are moving at one company. Okay, now before we jump on to any BA specific parts, it is important for us to understand what kind of landscape we are entering into. Okay, so that at our head we are clear about things. That's number one, intention. Number two, we should be aware of the normal terms as well, how things move around IT industry, whether we are already part of it or whether we are entering it for the first time. Again, so that once you understand the basics, you can build more concepts over it. If you have a good foundation, you can build a strong building over that foundation. Now, before we move on to our next topic, guys, I would just like to highlight one point over here. So far, so we will be starting these classes on a different link actually, in the upcoming days. So if for all those who have not yet enrolled into the training program, please get yourself enrolled. Once you enroll, you will get the link for the actual training classes that will happen. Plus there will be a WhatsApp group created wherein students can discuss among themselves, ask questions that you may have even after the classes are over. Okay, that WhatsApp group is like there even during the training program and after the training program as well. Okay. Plus you will have access to the dedicated Google Classroom link for this training program and the video recordings as well. So for all those who are still considering, uh, please get yourself enrolled so that you get all the benefits associated. Now with that part out, let's get back to the training about pre-project activities. So what is this pre-project activities? Now pre-project activities, these are the activities that take place before the software development begins. Okay. Now, usually people sometimes they come up with this doubt that who is responsible for identifying clients? Is BA responsible for identifying clients? If yes, then how is BA identifying clients? How are they getting them onboarded? Okay. So to answer to that question, BA is not responsible for identifying client. Every IT company will have their sales and marketing teams. Okay? These teams are sets of individual who have good rapport, good relationship with people across. Okay? So they are responsible for identifying clients. Okay. So sales and marketing team will be responsible for identifying and negotiating a contract with the client. Without that contract, we will not get started. So everything must be written in document, like what is happening, how things will move around, what kind of work we have to do. So everything has to be written in the form of a contract. So that contract will be the binding force between the client and the IT company. That basically what are we agreeing to. So what kind of activities take place that helps sales and marketing team actually identify and negotiate a contract with the client? Okay. So I'm not going to get into details of how sales and marketing team are building the list of contacts. Okay. How are they keeping in touch with them? Because that's obviously out of the scope of this project. Okay. Whether they are doing it individually, whether they are doing it through their connections, whether they take clients for lunch, whatever they do, that is up to them. Okay. But majorly what kind of activities that take place once they have identified that a client requires some solution. Okay. So there are broadly, you can say, three activities that take place. First one is RFI, request for information. The second one is request for proposal, okay, or RFP. The third one is request for quotation, or RFQ. And the last one would be the contract negotiations. Okay, or you can say even signing up the contract as well. Okay, so these are the four major activities or steps that happens before actually we get some work. Okay, so in all these four steps, no one from the development team, that is a business analyst or a project manager or a developer or a quality analyst, is involved at this stage. Okay. So this is at a very high level where we are trying to convince the client that you have to basically do a tie-up or give me the contract for doing the work. Suppose you want to build a website, like say you are a local grocery shop and then you want to build an online platform for yourself. And I'm coming there and trying to convince you why you should be working with me. Okay. So the first step would be request for information. So basically what happens is here, let's call this high level criteria, which is nothing but their vision or goal. So as a client, I need to provide what exactly I'm looking for. Okay. This happens even when you go to any, let's say, shop to buy a cloth also. If you go to any showroom, whether you want to buy a car, whether you want to buy a cloth, whether you want to buy a smartphone, whichever you can think of, if you go to a shop, what's the first thing that the shopkeeper asks you? Like, what is your requirement? What do you want? So that I can show you my available offerings as per your requirements and see if anything fits there. Okay. So the same thing happens in the case of IT industry as well. I must know what the client is looking for. Before knowing what the client is looking for, what kind of proposal I can make to the client. Okay. So the first part of the information is trying to understand the goal or the vision of the client. Okay, what they want. If you require, if required, they ask for clarification as well. Sometimes the goal or vision may not be enough. Maybe you want to understand what is it that you currently want, plus how do you see this product evolving in the next 5 year or 10 years. Okay, so you may require more clarification or more information on top of the original information. Okay, so because we as IT company, we, when I say we does not mean business analyst, it's the sales and marketing teams of IT company. Okay, so because they were provided with some high level criteria, and they may require or they may be happy with the original information itself. Okay, so the first step is requesting for information. Okay, basically trying to identify all the information that may help you with your next steps, because once I understand what the client wants, then only I can build a proposal on top of it. Okay, so that's where the next step comes in, that is building a proposal. Or once client has shared their vision or goal, client will request for proposal, that now that you know my requirements, give me a proposal. Okay, so what exactly is this proposal or RFP or request for proposal? Now, the contents of RFP may vary from company to company, but in general, if I am trying to onboard a new client, what I would typically say is, sorry, what the problem statement is. Okay, how the problem is affecting the client. Now, see, if I have to tell you, suppose you come to my shop to buy a smartphone, and without buying, suppose if you are going out without making a decision, then what sometimes shopkeepers will do is they'll try to scare you about the things going around the market, how people are getting fooled, how not buying a smartphone could be a disastrous decision. Okay, so the same thing is a tactics used by the sales and marketing team as well. Once I know what's the problem of the client, I will try to identify what if you don't solve this problem. So why I am doing this? So that they don't change their mind in between. Okay, so what is the problem? And then I'll try to showcase how deep this problem is, that if you don't address it, you are done, your life is over, you'll not be able to make money if you don't solve this problem. Okay, showcasing the impact that the problem can have will actually build that necessary momentum in our favor, so that client can be even further convinced. Okay, so what's the problem, and the second part is the impact that the problem can make. Okay, then comes the next part, which is our solution. Okay, solution does not mean at this point you are talking anything about technology. Solution does not mean you are talking about requirements and writing code. Solution could be as simple as that, because you are doing all the shopping, you are doing all the sales offline, I will give you a platform. That platform could be a website or a mobile application through which customers can log in there, and then they can buy the products. Okay, we will be able to help you provide with end-to-end solutions. Okay. Now, when we are talking about this kind of solution, I'm not talking anything about whether I'm going to build something on Java, Python, or whether I'll give you a website, mobile app, or both. Okay, I'm just giving you a high level solution how the software will work like. Okay, maybe when we get into this contract negotiations, that time we can discuss. I want both mobile application and website as well. Okay, so the sales and marketing team will provide a high level solution, and a plan to implement the solution. Okay, what will be my plan to implement this solution that I'm talking about? So plan will talk about how much time I'm going to take, approximate number of people that will be working in this project. Okay, so that the client is now seeing a problem, then a solution that can solve the problem, and then a plan that can help implement the solution. Okay, at this stage they won't talk about money, that how much money will I charge you. Okay, now whether you work for a product, whether a client goes for a product based company or service based company, the pattern will more or less be the same. Okay, so for a product based company, again the client will provide their goal or vision. If suppose that IT company that is submitting the proposal is a product based company, their plan will be that I have an existing product that fits your requirement, I will come and install this product on your machine and done, you can start using it. Okay, but the contents will still remain the same, because you want to sell a product, you still want to emphasize on the problem, the impact of the problem, so that client is again, there are less chances of clients backing out. Similarly, if you are a service based company, your proposal will be more talking about other things as well. For example, how many projects have I delivered in the past? What kind of feedback did I receive from other clients on a similar kind of project? So that you demonstrate your skills, your expertise over it. So you may include certain other information as well as a service based company. Past project history, reviews or feedbacks from previous clients, so that you demonstrate your experience. Now then comes the third part, that is the quotation part. This is where the money related discussions will happen. Okay. Suppose when a client initially provided their original request, suppose five companies applied for it, A, B, C, D. Okay. Assume that there were five companies that applied for it. Company A, company B, company C, company D, and company E. Okay. Now all these five will submit their proposal. Okay. All five will submit their proposal. Once, before the next step starts, the client has to review the proposal. Maybe after review, client may say that, you know what, uh, let's say the company D and company B, they don't have enough experience. Okay, I see them pretty new in the market. I'm a very big organization, I have billions of dollars at stake, so I cannot go with new entrants. I want someone who has a good reputation in the market as well. Okay, sometimes because of the money, the reputation at stake, that you don't want to go with the cheapest option available. Otherwise, all the big companies like Accenture, Infosys, TCS, who charge exorbitant amount of money from client, they all would go without work if everyone starts looking for the cheapest option available. So the large organizations, they don't just look at money. They, at this stage, if you see request for proposal, at this stage we are not even talking about money, we are just talking about how you are going to help me implement a solution. See, based on that itself, client will do some shortlisting. Then comes the money part, because as a large organization, money is coming now, but first my reputation is important. Now here they will talk about money in two different terms. One is called fixed fee billing, and second one is called resource based billing. Resource based billing is also sometimes called as time and money based billing. Okay. So as the name suggests, in fixed fee what will happen? The IT company, let's say A, will say that I will charge you $1 million fixed. Okay. So for example, A can say that I will charge you 1 million USD fixed. B can say that, hey, you know what? I don't have a fixed cost for you, but here's how I'm going to charge you. And that second model is called resource based billing. That is billing based on number of people that are going to work in the project. So I can say that I will charge 20 US dollars for, let's say, every developer in the project. I will charge 20 US dollar per hour for every developer in the project. Okay. Maybe I'll charge 15 US dollar per hour for every QA in the project. Same thing, some billing rate for BA as well, some billing rate for project manager, some billing rate for architects as well. Okay. So you get the idea. So basically there will be a billing rate for every person that is involved. Sometimes you may say that $20 for developers and $40 for technical leads or architects. Okay, so you will have some billing rate for every individual that gets involved in the project. Okay, so you don't give them an upfront amount but tell them that based on this rate card I will do the billing, and then you can give them a split up of some idea, like let's say, I'll be hiring 20 people, 10 developers, 5 testers, something like here and there, and those will help me finish up this project. Okay, so accordingly they can calculate the rate. The client or this company C, they can also come up with a fixed fee cost, that 1.5 million USD for doing this entire work. Now usually if we are doing any software development work, clients like or prefer this fixed fee model because upfront they will know what's the cost they have to spend. Okay, if it is software maintenance or software support kind of work, they don't want to spend a fixed fee on it. Okay, so for software support kind of work or production support kind of work, they rely on resource based billing. Okay, if there is some ticket, there is some work, I'll pay for it. If there is no work, I'll not pay for it. So that will help them save some money there as well, because on production support activities no one want to spend a fixed fee. Even for IT companies also, fixed fee offers more benefits, that I'll charge you 1 million US dollar, and then you don't worry how many people I am going to hire. So internally what happens is, as an IT company, I will decide how many freshers I am going to hire, how many experienced candidates I can hire, at what role, at what level I'm going to hire them, so that I can maximize my profit as the IT company. Okay, if I go for resource based billing, what happens is client will be very closely tracking how many people are there in the team, what is their experience level, what is their billing rate. So if I see more people at higher billing rates, client may come to me and tell, hey, you know what, just remove some of these higher billing rate people and then get some freshers as well. Okay, so that can impact or hurt my profits as well. So normally if it is software development, let me write it down. If it is software development, this is the preferred method, fixed fee billing. And if it is production support kind of thing, okay, or software support or production support, then resource based billing is the ideal part. Okay, now based on the quotation, again client may shortlist let's say client may shortlist A, company A, that I'll work with them. They seem to be having good reputation in the market. Plus, at the same time, they are offering me that they'll get the work done in 1 million US dollar, and I think I'll be able to save some money there. So that's when they enter into the last stage, that is contract negotiations, wherein they can again renegotiate the budget, they can renegotiate the plan or the timelines, that I want the work done in 5 months and not 6 months. Okay, I can pay you some $100,000 extra, but get the work done in 5 months and not 6 months. Okay, so they can discuss on various detail aspects like timelines, budget, data usage. Okay, sometimes I may be working from US, and maybe I'm giving you some work which is extremely confidential and private, which should not go outside of US. So maybe you want to employ people within America itself, within US itself, so that they don't this so that this information is not leaked outside. So what kind of data usage policies, and how many people will be there, who will be the point of contacts. Okay, what happens in case if anyone is breaching the contract. So all those in detail will be discussed and put into a contract, which we often term as SOW, or statement of work. Okay, now everything is documented or put into SOW, or statement of work, which is kind of like the binding force between the two companies, the IT company and the client, on what they have to do, by what timeline, within what budget, what happens if anyone is breaching, who will be our main POCs, how the data will be used, how the information will be shared, whatever they feel relevant. Okay, there is no fixed guideline as to what should be put into SOW. It is purely based on the two parties, on what all kind of information they want to put into SOW. Okay, now for all this information, this BA is not involved. Finally, once the SOW is signed, then we assign a software development team to it. That is, a project manager will be assigned, who will be trying to identify how many people are needed. Okay, what kind of plan have we committed earlier, construct a more detailed plan for implementation, and then BAs, developer, QA will be hired. Mostly when you go, it won't be a fresh development, it will be more of enhancement work that we do. Okay, so there's an existing software, we keep enhancing that software. So there will already be fixed project managers, everything will be there. It's just that based on the type of work, we keep adding or removing people from the list. Okay, so the SOW and everything will be there, you'll just go join a team, maybe you'll come back from that team, join some other team. Okay, but this is how the pre-project activities take place. Okay, now sometimes as a BA, and with when you gain more experience, you will be exposed to the RFP part. Okay, when you work on a system, and you identify some problem with the system. Okay, so what happens is, even we create a presentation highlighting the problem, the impact of the problem, what solution we have, and how are we going to implement that solution, and then give it to the client, that hey, you know what, right now a lot of your transactions fail because of date mismatch issues, or any problem with the system. So that RFP can only come in once you spend some good 2 3 years into the system. Okay, and then you can provide a simple implementation of the solution to the client. If they like your idea, if they like what you are suggesting, if they see lot of value in your idea, they will go ahead and tell you, yes, do this work, I will do the funding for it. If they feel that it is not worth pursuing, your idea will be stopped there itself. Okay. Any questions so far? Let me check the chat box as well if any questions have been posted there. No. Okay, I'll take the silence as no question, guys. So this was the overview of IT companies and the pre-project activities that take place before we actually get the work. Okay. Now, in the upcoming classes, we will talk about what happens once we get the work. Okay, what does the team structure looks like? What are the different categorization of projects and how the categorization helps us communicate effectively as a BA? Okay, and then we'll also look at the core competencies or skills that may be required as a business analyst for you to succeed. And what does this software development cycle means? How do we, or what kind of work we do in SDLC, and what's our roles and responsibilities as per the SDLC. It will help us memorize our roles and responsibilities in a more efficient way. Okay. So thank you everyone for your time. We'll connect tomorrow again. And for those who have not yet enrolled, please enroll in the training program so that you continue to receive the updates. Thank you again.